always the one. You, what we been through, I miss you. And you can't lie, you miss me too. If I roll through, but you...
In today's video, we're going to be responding to a comment that I got under one of my videos. Sorry if you hear the air conditioning, it's very hot outside. And now, before we get into today's video,
like, comment, and subscribe to enable post notifications so that you'll be notified every time I drop a video.
First and foremost, here's the comment. Pause to read. He mentioned something about Aaliyah being sacrificed. I think it did become a sacrifice after a while. I just watched this video on TikTok of this video. They were basically saying how Jay-Z wanted Aaliyah because she was the most popular girl in the R&B part of the industry, and she was very successful. It's very evident why he wanted her and nobody else. I think that when she turned him down, she became a sacrifice, and he had to get her out the way because she was just too powerful. He is a very prideful person. He doesn't want to be at the bottom, especially under someone he fell in love with. No, with prideful people, they want to be on top. They want what they want, and if you don't give it to them, clearly they're crazy enough to steal your life from you. Because she rejected him and didn't want him, wasn't interested, he sacrificed her, and he gathered up a bunch of people around her and got rid of her so that Beyonce could fill her place. And that's exactly what happened. It wasn't necessarily probably going to be a sacrifice at first. I definitely think that she became a sacrifice because of her turning down this crazy guy. He also mentioned that her family, Damon Dash, Jay-Z, and a bunch of others played a part in her. And there's now some new videos circulating on TikTok of AaliyahBAW speaking more about the Aaliyah situation, which I've been waiting on this forever because I sincerely believe she knows what she's talking about. She's been in the industry around some greats, even Jay-Z, so she would know what she is talking about. She's been talking more about the Aaliyah situation, which I will be reacting to pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. She basically said how there was multiple people who had something to do with her. There was multiple people who were in the Bahamas with Aaliyah who signed NDA'S to not speak about the crash and what happened leading up to that. It's not really a shock. I've been saying this since day one, since I've started my channel. Multiple people had something to do with her because it was just it was just a that seemed like it would have took multiple people. It was just strange from the time they started talking about it and the time that I got into it. They were saying how they took her all the way to the Bahamas. For one. Two, she didn't want to get on the plane going out there. She did it anyways. And then on the plane coming back, she didn't want to get on that one either. And then they tried to say she still wanted to get on the plane even though it was overweight. Just a bunch of bullcrap, right? All lies. And I knew this from day one when I got into Aaliyah. And I'm just like, well, this had to be orchestrated by a bunch of people because there's no way one person could have put this off. There's no way one person could have put this off and got away with it at that without some type of power behind him. I think he had a bunch of other powerful people, well, him as in Jay-Z, had a bunch of powerful people behind him who helped, and Hype was one of them. I'm now starting to think Diddy was one of them. She was really close with him, so I don't know why that didn't click into my head, but they all know, and together those three are very powerful. AaliyahBAW also said that Jay-Z got 10 free videos after he did what he did to Aaliyah. It's just crazy. It's just a bunch of stuff that AaliyahBAW was talking about. I do believe that Damon, Jay-Z, and a lot of others has something to do with it. I even heard that the dancers knew and they had to sign an NDA because they were witnesses or something like that. But her family, I'm still trying to figure out if her family has something to do with this. Why would they want to sacrifice their daughter to be where they are right now? They're nowhere in life. They're probably living like the average person. Another thing that Jaguar said was that her family turned a blind eye to all of this, and I've been knew this. One or the other. What were they told for them to not feel the need to go down there with her? Did they tell the parents that she would be down there with someone else? Wasn't it suspicious? It was just all this stuff, and her brother didn't end up going. They said they were always there with her. My question for them, I have a lot of questions for them, but my question right now for them is, why didn't they find that strange that none of her family, her immediate family, were going to be going with her? It's just strange. It doesn't make any sense, but I'm still trying to figure out whether or not they had something to do with it. I used to think so, because after she passed away, her mom was doing interviews and she was showing up to red carpets. And if you look up Diane 2000 or Diane Houghton in general, you might see the pictures of her at awards and stuff with her son. At first that was really weird to me. She did a whole interview talking about Aaliyah, I think in 2002 or 3, could have been 2. And I just thought that was really weird because it was said that she went into a deep state. She wouldn't come out of her room. Why was she doing these interviews after her daughter? You know, so I don't know if her family has something to do with it. I do think they found out what happened and why it had to happen. But there's nothing they can do. It's not like they can go sue Jay-Z. They might be taken out. It's not like they can go sue P. Diddy or Hype Williams. No, they had to make it look realistic. I think they settled in court and they just ended up suing the airport and whatever else, or whoever else they sued. But they couldn't sue the actual people who orchestrated this. She found out. And I also think the uncle has something to do with her too, because Diane and Barry Hankerson fell out and they were going through court trying to win her music over. So something wasn't right about that. It's kind of leaning towards they didn't know, but that they were paid off to be quiet and they were scared. But it's possible they could have had something to do with it. But right now, I don't think they would do that to their baby girl. But they did turn a blind eye. I agree with everything Jaguar is saying. I don't think she's lying one bit. And I think she knows what she's talking about. She's not crazy. I think a lot of people had parts in her. Everybody that was down there. From Fatima. I mean, Jaguar was calling out everybody. She was calling out Fatima, Hype Williams, Jay-Z, all of them. Saying that they all signed a deed, or they were paid to sign an NDA or something like that to keep it under wraps. That's where she was also saying how somebody, whoever gave her those and knocked her out, needs to come forward or expose who gave her those, which I think it was Fatima. But that's me. Jaguar has been speaking, and it's a lot of people that has something to do with her. And it's just really sad at the end of the day, because I don't think she deserved that at all. Even though she was moving a little sloppy, she did not deserve that. One person ganged up by multiple people in the industry, very powerful people, mainly men who were out to get her innocent soul because she did not want to dedicate her life and her love to a dominant person, someone who wanted to have control over that woman. It's just really sad. I get a feeling that she was just so scared deep down inside, and I think she knew what was going to happen. She knew exactly who was after her. I think her last album basically speaks about Jay-Z without saying his name. I just get a feeling she was scared. He said if Dame was in love, he would have sent Aaliyah a plane. So first and foremost, starting off with that, I don't even think Damon was in love with Aaliyah. I just think he wanted to screw her, and he wanted that 50-50 relationship in the industry so that they could become a very powerful couple like Beyonce and Jay-Z did. That's all he wanted Aaliyah for, and that's all Aaliyah wanted him for. But I sincerely think she was in love with him as well, because he was a businessman. Not very smart, but he was a businessman. He was a CEO at the time, and he was running game on everybody, you know. He was the boss. That's what she wanted. He gave her the time and the day that she was looking for. Aaliyah was looking for attention. You could cheat, but you got to be on the same page as her, right? She wasn't dumb at all. She knew what she was chasing in the industry, and that was power and a stable life from here on out. But Damon did not like her like that. Damon is into lighter skinned women. or mixed women, let's say that, mixed women. He does not like black women. I've never seen Damon Dash with a black woman at all. The only reason why he settled for Aaliyah is because he said she was like a white woman, a black girl in a white woman's body. She just act different, you know. She looked different. She came off different. It just gave that preference he liked. But he still did not like her like that. He wanted to smash, which he did. And they were going to get married and become a powerful couple. That's all he wanted it for. He did not love Aaliyah. And it irks my nerves when people post pictures of them together, because I know his intentions weren't real with her. She didn't know that, but he wasn't feeling her at all. That's why it was so easy for him to move on a few years later after he started back hanging out with Jay-Z. He know what Jay-Z did. Until Jay-Z finally took that business, not only did Jay-Z take the girl he was dealing with at the time that he had stole from him as well, but Jay-Z ended up taking the business from him and leaving him flat. That's when he tried to fall back with Jay, but you knew what Jay did to her, and you were going to be cool with that because you didn't want her anyways. He wanted Rachel Roy, but he wanted to act like, oh, now he wants to throw Jay-Z under the bus. You know, Jay-Z basically turned him into a broke celebrity. Damon is not innocent either. Let's just say that. He was never in love with Aaliyah. I don't like when people post pictures of them because it's just not what it looked like. She might have been happy, but he was not happy. He knew what was coming. Also, he said that Dame could have got her a plane. I already said this. Why didn't Damon send her a plane? He said it. She called me and said she was scared to get on the plane going out there. So why didn't you get her plane to go out there and to come back? Why is no one asking him that? Everybody's interviewing him, but nobody's asking that question. Why didn't he send his girlfriend, his soon-to-be fiance, or not fiance, his fiance, let's say fiance, soon-to-be wife, a plane? Why didn't you send her a plane? She told her brother she was scared to get on a plane. Why didn't they send her a plane? I'm confused. And he also said that nobody sent her a plane. Nobody wanted to send her a plane. That's true. Her own family didn't even send her a plane. And her brother said it himself. She was scared to get on a plane. She told me she didn't want to. Okay, so why didn't y'all try to come up with a solution, talk her out of it, fly down there? Why? But Damon wasn't for Aaliyah. That's the truth. Yeah, nobody helped with other options for her getting a plane. The only person that helped was Lenny Kravitz, but he let Hype take that plane. Somebody on TikTok, the new videos that's been surfacing about Aaliyah, somebody said that Lenny Kravitz made a statement about the situation, but it was never published. And I would really like to know what he said, what his statement was, because I wonder if he's defending Aaliyah or he's gonna act clueless and oblivious to the situation. I found it hard to believe that he didn't speak up about it, but clearly he must have spoke some real stuff if it was never published. Something is weird, but hopefully, along with Diddy going down, a lot of other people go down. Not only for what Diddy was doing to females and what he did to Cassie, but what they also did to Aaliyah. That needs to be solved forever. She needs justice, bro. For real, for real. And I feel it. It's almost there. It's going to take a couple years because they have to go with the flow, because there's very powerful people in the industry, but it's coming. At this point, it's safe to say that everyone had parts in her. It was just fishy. Even the music video was fishy. There were subliminals in there. Whoever, and that was Hype's footage, right? Whoever edited that knew what they were doing. And they left a clue behind. It's just really sad. Like, I can't even listen to Rock the Boat or watch the video just knowing the story behind it. It's just very sick that they would want to document her last moments on video and then put subliminals in it and post it. It's just a scarring sound. It's a beautiful song. I'll always love it. She was beautiful in the video. She looked peaceful, even though I think she was very tired. It's just scary. Everyone was involved, and it's sad. She thought all these people were her friends, and they weren't. They really weren't. Now, last but not least, he said that Damon sacrificed her for Rockefeller. Now, I don't think Damon sacrificed her at all. This is just my opinion. I'm not downing your opinion. I don't think Damon sacrificed Aaliyah. I just think he let it happen because he didn't really care for that girl anyways. He just seen her as some model, some singer who he wanted to call dubs on for industry purposes only. He didn't sacrifice her, but he stayed out the way. Jay-Z did that because not only did she reject him, but she made him look dumb, and she was gonna take over Rockefeller with Damon, and Jay-Z could not have that. He didn't want that. That's what Jay-Z wanted. Jay-Z wanted Aaliyah to take over Rockefeller, but it didn't work like that. Aaliyah decided to choose Damon, and that's why when she was with Jay-Z, she was never rocking Rockefeller. As soon as she got with Damon, she started wearing a t-shirt. She got the necklace that said Rockefeller, and they were going to take over Rockefeller, and Jay-Z was going to be Damon of today. And Beyonce could have ended up like Aaliyah or just a nobody. I think that was a sacrifice for Jay-Z, for his feelings, for his come up, for what he believed in he would become with some female artists. He wanted it to be Aaliyah, but he had to settle for Beyonce. Beyonce was willing to do everything Aaliyah wouldn't do. Damon most certainly knew. I think Kidada knew. Everybody. It's just really sad, and it would explain why Kidada didn't show up to the funeral. I heard that's, well, Brandy wasn't invited, so I'm pretty sure most people wasn't invited to her funeral just because of the fakeness. But I wish that her parents would have seen the fakeness with all the people that she was around, not just one person. But her parents failed her, and like I said before, that was grief at that funeral. That was not sadness over losing a child, slightly, but it was more of guilt because they turned a blind eye to what happened to her, which it could have been easily avoided. Aaliyah was definitely a sacrifice for Jay to come up with Beyonce, the next best thing. Well, she became the next best thing while they were downing other females or taking other females' careers away. It's just really sad, bro. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Have y'all seen the videos of Jaguar Wright talking about this new Aaliyah stuff on TikTok? If so, let me know what you think. How do you feel about certain situations? I still think that they framed the pilot. I'm still unsure as to how the others got on the plane. I don't know. Were they too? Let me know down below, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go follow my vlogging channel and come on the journey with me to becoming a first-time mother. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Stay crazy.
Do you remember that one night when we fell in love? What we had felt so right, 'cause we had trust. Now we're drowning in our lives. I know we're broken up, you know the feelings deep inside. So what? You, what we've been through.